Hi Miranda, I hope you enjoyed your weekend. Before we get started, I'm going to give you the fun fact of the day. So, today's fun fact is that the world's largest reptile is a saltwater crocodile. They can be found in southern Asia, in Australia, and the Pacific Ocean, and they are around 13 to 18 feet long and about 2,200 pounds, though they can be bigger. This makes them actually larger than a polar bear, if you can imagine that. So hopefully you learned something today, and I'm going to go ahead and pull up your essay. So first of all, I want to say your writing has improved a lot over the course of the year, and it's getting increasingly sophisticated. I have a lot of good things to say. You were detailed. You gave a lot of examples and good examples. You made, and not only are they like examples that are clear, but they have really good points. You're not just saying trivial things. What I think is actually equally impressive is that you seem to be using periods and commas correctly, especially in compound sentences and with transition words, and that's a higher level grammatical skill. So, good job. Keep up the good work. There are a couple of things that I'd like you to look at, but they're minor. It's just, from this point on, it's just going to be trying to increase the level of sophistication of your writing, because it seems like you've got the basics down. So the first one is point of view. So if you read through your essay, I didn't highlight every instance, but you do switch points of view. So you start out by saying you. Have you ever wondered? You should never give up. Things like that. And you go on, and then you switch to as a student. School can get a little overwhelming, and I, which is, right, a change. And then you go on to say there comes that moment in our lives. And you switch back and forth throughout the essay, which it's easy to do, because unless you really, really strongly identify in one position, it's really hard to keep that straight. But I have a brief explanation. There are basically 6 options for what type of perspective you can use when you're narrating. So you can say I am, which is singular and like it's you, right? So in that case it would be I am. So you include yourself in it. And then there's you are, so that's not you, that's someone else. So you are, and then there's they are, which is a group of people that are. And then there's we are, you all are, and they all are. So these are your 6 options, basically. And what you've done is that you have managed to use 3 of them. You have used we are, which is where you would find like our, us, we. Here you find I and me. You use this one. You also use you, yeah. And this one is particularly important to pay attention to because most people do not like to be told you, right? It sounds like best for instructions, right? It sounds like you're ordering them about, so unless you're a military sergeant or you're writing an instruction manual, it's probably best to stay away from this. So you want to probably stay up here at I am and we are. And again, just pick one because you're doing a good job and this is just a little tiny thing that can be used to fix it. The last thing I would mention is that you do have a little bit of repetition. I don't highlight every instance, but I do it in the first paragraph. So you've written never give up or some variation of it 4 different times in the same paragraph. You can't avoid saying it completely, but you might, at least within a paragraph, right? You might want to try and use a pronoun instead, right? Instead of saying never giving up or never give up every single time, you might say it, just because it'll save you on word count, and it gets to be really super repetitive. But it doesn't need to be, because you're not filling up room or trying to make up for lack of content or quality even. So that's just something to think about. I hope you enjoy your week, and I will see you next time. If you have any questions, just stick them at the bottom of the essay in like a big font size or color. I try and check these. So have a good week.